Double cross, the greed makes them fiend. Double cross, put the enemy on their knees. Double cross, make them bleed from the unseen. Double cross, come clean with all the cream. Double cross,
Baby, I told you I will be back. Where are you going? And why are you in such a rush to leave me? She asked, watching him carefully. I have just been called into work, he replied while getting dressed, quickly throwing on his plumber's uniform. As far as she knew, he had only had this job for a few weeks and she did not like it one bit. His boss always called at the wrong time, and now definitely was the wrong time for her. She wanted to cuddle on this very cold winter's day. She rose up from under the warmth of the bed covers to the edge of the bed. Her perfectly portioned nude mahogany body was exposed to the cold draft. She was laying across the cover with her manicured feet swinging in the air. It was so cold on top of the covers that her skin began to grow chill bumps instantly. What are you up to? She questioned. It is 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Where do you think you are going? He paused at getting dressed and smiled at her. She was the most beautiful woman he has ever been with. He really did love this woman, but now was not the time to think of love. It was time for work. No, sugar bunny, it's nothing, it's just business, he replied, while sitting on the edge of the bed to tie his running shoes. She sat up Indian style with her legs crossed in front of her. Her natural curly hair was long and puffy, perfectly parted at the top of her head. The sun-dyed red and black hair swirled down from her shoulders, almost covering her honey brown nipples. I do not like your business. It is always taking you away from me. Just stay home today. She inched closer to him, talking softer. Call your boss and tell him you can't make it, she asked while rubbing his shoulders. Now baby, you know I can't do that. My crew needs me, he tried to explain. Plus, if we want to pay the bills for this new house, then you should start getting to like my new job. After this job, the boss is giving us a bonus and we can take that trip to the Caribbean islands like we always dreamed. She was not impressed with his exaggerated excuse. She sensed something was not right and she wanted him to stay in the comfort of their cozy California king-sized bed. She was hoping that she could seduce him one last time and make him stay with her to make love all day. She stood up in front of him, placing her trimmed muffin directly in his face. He finished tying up his last shoelace on his steel toe boots, then looked up at her. His nose landed in her sweet aroma mixed with her perfume. It made him relax a bit. She leans in and kissed him on the lips and asked in her most seductive voice, "Are you going to run out on all this?" He just smiled nervously at her again, looking her body over, but he was focused. His silence was answer enough. "Why, baby?" she asked. "We do not need much. You can take today off and stay with me and keep me warm with your strong hands." She grabbed his hands and pressed them against her cold body. She made him grip her hips, slowly moving them up towards her breast. Her areola stood straight up, pointing directly in his direction. She was horny and he could tell, but he did not have enough time. He rubbed her soft bronze skin, then pulled away and said firmly, "I can't, not today. This is important, I am sorry." "What?" she said, getting frustrated. "I should be the most important person in your life. Your plumbing crew can do without you this time. It is just a fucking job. Take today off. Why are you always working overtime and late nights? You are laying pipe to some other bitch, aren't you?" "Baby, no," he snickered. "Why would you even say such a thing?" "I don't know, baby. I just don't want you to leave me here alone. You know I hate to be alone." "Baby, I will be back in a couple hours or so," he assured her. "Now give me a kiss for good luck. When I get back, I promise I will lay the pipe on you, baby." "Yeah, whatever, Cypris. Go on with your little job and just leave me here. You know, I'm not going to always be here in this big house all alone. I can't handle it. I think this house is fucking haunted." "Girl, really? There is no such thing as ghosts. It's just a new house. It's probably just settling." "Yeah, whatever. I wish you would just settle." "Huh? What is that supposed to mean?" "Nothing, babe, just go. Since you are leaving, bring back dinner, because I am not cooking for ghosts." "Okay, sure. I want Chinese. Chicken fried rice with shrimp, 2 egg rolls, and crab rangoon. Don't forget my 2 egg rolls and a fortune cookie." "Okay, baby, sure, I got you." "Uh-huh. Don't be like that, sugar bunny. Give daddy some sugar." She leans over and gives him a wet kiss on his lips. "I love you, Cypris. I love you too, Rosita." They kiss and hug each other passionately. They were in love. She relaxed and laid back in the comfort of her warm electric heating blanket. She turns the knob to full hot. Cypris walks out of the side door, locking it behind himself. He took 2 steps, turned around, and he opened the door and rushing back to the bedroom, vigorously unbuttoning his pants while tugging on his zipper. He entered the room dropping his pants just low enough to expose himself. I thought about it, the job can wait another 5 minutes. I have to get me some of the sweet sugar bunny first. Come here, girl. He was stroking his cock, getting it hard and ready for their quickie. She went to him, grabbed his semi-hard dick, put it in her mouth, then looked up at him and smiled. Oh baby, I thought you would never ask. She attacks him with kisses and quick popping sucks on his already hard exposed cock, hanging from his zipper. They fucked fast with a lot of kissing and moaning. She was happy that he came back. She bounced her pussy on his dick with fast movements. She wanted his dick. She needed his dick. And she showed him by fucking with him and throwing it back as best as she could. He was happy to be inside her. He did not know how he was able to resist her for so long. She arched her back and he cream pied in her pussy, grabbing her butt, squeezing his fingerprints deep into her ass cheeks. She felt the heat from his sperm shooting in her pussy. She came soon after. He could not move, but she kept throwing it back. Her wetness made their bodies clap together in rhythmic harmony. Both of their thighs were damp from the fast and steamy love making. She was at ease. Love you, babe. I gotta go. Love you too, baby. Be safe. Always. He pulled his pants up and rushed out of the door. Waiting outside were Terrence Parker and Joe Braxton, co-workers of Cyparis. They are waiting outside of his home, parallel parked inside an all-white Astro van. Braxton was a young hothead who was getting impatient. He kept making rude comments about Cyparis' tardiness. Terrence was not saying a word. He just kept looking at his watch, tapping the steering wheel. They have been waiting on Cyparis for over 15 minutes. Cyparis thinks he is rich now. In this rich neighborhood with these rich folks. Now he's moving slow, taking his rich time. Come on, fool, we have money to make. Ranted Braxton, being obviously irritated. Cyparis walks from the side of the house to the work van waiting outside. The van has a magnetic sticker on it, plumber's pump. Cleaning clogs and fixing drains. Cyparis wondered if this company was real or was it another one of Terrence's cover-up businesses. Either way it looked real, at least Rosita thought so. There he is now, Terrence sighed. About damn time. Cyparis, you are fucking slow, come on, let's go, we have a schedule to keep, Braxton yelled out the van's passenger window. Cyparis opens the sliding door and jumps in the back. The door slammed hard behind him. It was time to go to work. Damn lover boy, I thought we were going to have to drag you away from that bitch. Joe Braxton jokes. Hey, watch your fucking mouth and stay out of my personal life. She does not concern you. Respect that. Cyparis snapped and the van became mute. Terrence looked in his rear view mirror and noticed how serious Cyparis was. He did not play about his girl Rosita. Braxton calmed down quickly and leaned back into his passenger seat. Terrence turned his head and glanced at both of them while pulling into traffic.
Chapter 2. Time to clock in.
Listen up, gentlemen. Terrence said with exactness, in a few hours your life is about to change. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You fuck this shit up, you might not make it out alive to see the pot of gold at the end. We have went over this several times, so it should be a kid's treat. They arrived at 159th Street and 7th Avenue at 7:54 a.m. Minutes later, just as scheduled, the first armored truck drove to the side of the bank. The second one drove in behind him. One guard from each truck stood outside of the building watching for intruders. The passengers of each truck walked inside of the bank. They were easy prey. Two out-of-shape middle-aged men. They hardly ever get any action anymore. Who wants to rob them? They're bank cops. Who would dare? This particular division has not had an attempt in over 20 years. This side of town was pretty quiet. The low-crime area had the guards routinely on point from training, but they were bored from the lack of action. They were sloppy bank cops. Hey, did you see the game last night? The short fat guard said to the tall fatter one. Yeah, I lost a lot of money on that game. They went into overtime. I told you Tampa Bay was going to win. Yeah, I can't believe that shot at the buzzer. That puck went right through his mitt. Great matchup for sure. So go ahead and pay up. Yeah. Man, I got you, but you gotta wait till payday. I'm broke. Okay, just make sure you have my money. Don't let your wife take my winning. He seriously jokes. Okay dude. I got you. Yeah boy, Tampa Bay, all the way. I told you we can't be stopped. We are going to get the Stanley Cup this year. Watch. I don't know about that. You will still have to beat New York. The plumber's van is parked directly across the street from the bank, out of view from the bank cops. Everyone inside is quietly watching behind the tinted windows. All eyes are focused on the guards. Terrence is waiting for the two armored truck guards to stop bullshitting and go inside the bank. The two guards finally walk inside and begin talking to the bank security guard. He directed them to the bank manager. Meanwhile, inside the plumber's van, Joe reached in his bag and gives everyone their supplies. "Why did you get presidential masks?" Cyprius asked Joe. "Everyone knows these masks are for robbing banks." "Exactly," Joe replied sarcastically. "Every bank robber has used these masks, and we are bank robbers, so pick one." "Give me Obama." Cyprius agreed. "Here boss, take Lincoln." Joe hands Terrence the Lincoln mask and pulls out another one for himself. "I will be Clinton." President Obama is watching them from the van with his binoculars. Back inside the bank, the two security officers follow the bank guard though out the inside of the nearly empty bank. A few early bird customers and employees occupy the building with no idea that today is the day that they would never forget. "Come this way, officers," called out the female in a tailored suit. "Hello gentlemen, how are you doing this morning? My name is Mrs. Diana Taylor, you can call me Mrs. Taylor. We have everything prepared for your delivery. I am sure that you guys already know that this is a very sensitive delivery." She opens the vault and continues with the presentation. "Today you will be carrying African gold bricks and diamonds along with your usual take of cash and bonds. Both of these carts will be carrying over 50 million in cash and bonds with an additional 2 tons of gold bricks and 1,000 grams of diamonds. Now we will need you to deliver this safely to our other location. We do not like to carry large amounts of our customers' fund at this location." "Yes, ma'am," said the short guard. "We were already briefed on the content and the sensitivity it is to have it delivered safely." "Yeah, Mississippi Taylor, like my partner said." The tall guard rudely interrupted. "We do this same delivery for you once a month every month. I am pretty sure we can handle it. We already know how you like it." "Listen, Rent-A-Cop, my father left me this bank and I will protect it in my customer's interest. If you have a problem with the procedure, I suggest you call your superior officer to bring a more qualified cop that can do the job that I require." "Yes, ma'am." The short one apologizes. "My partner here was just saying how he enjoys coming to your lovely bank. He just has a weird way of communicating." She was frustrated. "No time for games, officers. Do your job. The crates are in the back." She directs them to the vault and points at the crates. The two cops and the security guard load their carts for transport. She walked out and continued her previous mission of preparing the bank for today's Saturday rush. When she walked off and was out of sight, the rude cop asked the security guard, "Why is she so uptight? Does this delivery always come when her untie flow arrives? Every month it's the same thing. This is a very sensitive delivery," he mocked. "Mrs. Taylor has been under a lot of stress lately. Ever since she went from management to owner, it's been taking a toll on her. It is hard for her to deal with the loss of her father and running his company. Give her time, she will come around." The guard defended his new boss. "Well, she does not need to take it out on us. We come here every week and she still has to give us this shit. Come on, let's get to work, guys. My coffee's getting cold," the security guard said, unloading the bank carts, placing the money bags into the transportation carts. President Obama has his binoculars pressed up against his mask, following the cops' every move inside the bank. When he saw the transportation boxes, he knew they were on their way outside. "It's time to clock in, boys," President Obama said, still looking through his binoculars. 10 seconds. The security guard walked out of the bank first, holding the door open for the two cops. "Okay, you guys have a nice day, drive safely." "Yeah, I know we have a very sensitive delivery." The glass door closed in mid-sentence. "Come on, stop joking with them and let's go. We have 2 more pickups, then we can go home." President Obama was watching every move, focusing on the transportation crates. Now it was just the 2 transit cops outside. It was time. They have 5 seconds of blind time before the waiting armored drivers sees them. 1,000. President Clinton tippy-toe runs from around the van, parallel angled to the cop's blind side. 1,000. President Lincoln takes cover on the driver's side of the hood, aiming his assault rifle at the 2 cops. 1,000. President Clinton is on the sidewalk behind the 2 cops and pulls out a long, funny-looking gun. 1,000. President Obama sits down the binoculars and picks up his assault rifle, aiming at the side of the bank where the transportation truck was waiting for pickup. 1,000. President Clinton stops running, aims and shoots. Piff, piff. The closest cop didn't see it coming. He took the needle-point shot in the back of his neck. The other cop looked behind him, but it was too late. He was shot in the throat. They both instantly slumped and collapsed over. The funny-looking gun was actually a fully automatic dart gun loaded with elephant tranquilizer. Without warning, the two cops were out cold. The other two guards outside were still talking about hockey. They did not hear a thing. The drivers were still not in eyesight. They had no idea they were being robbed. When the tranquilized cops fell by the transportation crates, President Obama and President Clinton were there to catch them before they rolled away. In a hurry, he grabbed the crates, taking them to the van. President Clinton handed his crate to President Lincoln, then ran back to the sleeping cops to take his empty needle darts out of their necks. He kneeled down and grabbed both of their walkie-talkies and hurries back across the street to the van. He was spotted by Mrs. Taylor. She ran past her security officer and went outside. "Hey, what are you doing? Police help!" Mrs. Taylor yelled while pushing the front doors open. Piff, piff, piff. President Clinton tried to shoot her with a tranquilizer gun, but he missed. She saw the guns and quickly ran back inside the bank. "George, do something. They're robbing us." The security guard did not want to get involved, but it was his job to protect the bank. He didn't want to lose his job, so he came out shooting. Pow, pow. "Stop," said the security guard. The security guard took cover, then radioing in on his shoulder. "Robbery, we have a robbery in progress at the National Bank on 7th Ave and 159th Street. I repeat. Robbery, we have a robbery in progress at the National Bank. 7th and 158th. Shots fired. The security guard fires a few rounds at the robbers. Pow, pow, pow. President Clinton shot back from his Uzi he had strapped to his back. Rat-tat-tat-tat. The security guard hid behind the door. Glass shattered by his head landing at his feet. Fuck. I didn't get paid for this shit. Fucking sloppy bastards. More bullets flew inches from his face at a rapid rate. Shit. I need a fucking raise, he said, taking cover blind, aiming his revolver at the van. Pow, pow, pow. Hurry up, time to go, President Lincoln yelled, placing the crates on the homemade ramp into the van. The security guard reloaded his weapon and shot at the van again. Pow, pow, pow. The two cops standing on the side of the building heard the shots and came running from around the corner. The driver stayed inside the trucks. Their orders were to never get out no matter what happens. Freeze with your hands in the air, yelled the approaching cops. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Tat-tat-tat-tat. President Obama fires, aiming to kill. Bullets ricochet the surrounding area. The approaching cops immediately take cover. We have company. Let's go. President Obama yelled, firing at the two officers while ducking behind a nearby car. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Tat-tat-tat-tat. Pow, pow, pow. Pow, pow, pow. I see two cops at 9 o'clock and a security guard at 3, soon there will be more. Hurry up and get them carts in the damn van. President Obama shouted to President Lincoln while still shooting at the security guard, keeping them in cover. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Tat-tat-tat-tat. President Obama's rapid-fire bullets made the new cops take cover. President Clinton pushed President Lincoln the last cart. He shoved it onto the ramp, pushing it up into the truck. The homemade ramp broke in half at the last minute. The transportation box fell over on top of President Lincoln. He caught it before it hit the ground, almost breaking his hip. He tried to push the last crate into the van, but the wheel was stuck. Bullets were flying from the left and the right, leaving life-threatening dents in the side of the van and back doors. The bank alarm was sounding off. The city cops would be here in less than 45 seconds. They had to hurry up and get out of there. These crates were too heavy. He could not push it against the other. He was having a hard time trying to free the crate from the rear of the tilted van. The pressure was on his thighs. He continued to push one up and in the truck while the other was trying to escape. The weight was becoming unbearable. Time was running out. President Lincoln was going to let it just fall and leave it. President Obama ran over to him, still shooting at the security guard hiding behind the back door. Rat-tat-tat-tat. The guard was hit and he fell down hard back into the bank. He was down. No, George, Mrs. Taylor yelled as she pulled his bleeding body back into a safe place inside the bank. Push, old man, push, President Obama said, helping President Lincoln with one hand and shooting wildly with the other. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Tat-tat-tat-tat. President Clinton was still on the other side of the street. He grabbed his sidearm and fired at the approaching cops. The cops were pinned behind the wall and another behind a parked car across the street. They could not come any closer. Fuck man, y'all hurry up. I can't hold them off forever. I'm running out of ammo, yelled President Clinton. President Obama balanced the cart while his partner President Lincoln pushed with all his might. President Clinton runs and ducks towards the back of the van, shooting at the cops trying to come from around the corner. He then aims at the cop's exposed leg peeking from behind the car's trunk. The bullet went straight through and blew off his kneecap. He collapsed to the ground yelling in pain. The tall cop ran out from behind the wall. President Clinton shot at him but missed. Aiming his gun to each side, running as fast as he could, and dropped his shoulder into the back of the crate. At the same time, President Obama and President Lincoln pushed with everything in them. The force bounced the van and the three of them were able to get the last transportation crate in the van, slamming it closed. The alarming sounds of backup was quickly approaching the scene. "Let's get the fuck out of here, I can hear the cavalry coming," President Lincoln said in a hurry, running to the driver's seat. The other two cops behind the wall were easing on them. The local police sirens were getting closer. You could hear them mixing in with the bank alarm. They had to be less than a block away. President Clinton shot at the oncoming bank cops, hitting the fat one on the right side of his gut, just missing his body armor. He fell instantly. He was bleeding out. His light blue shirt was turning bright red. The tall bank cop took cover by the car next to his injured partner. "Don't you die on me, Bubby. You still owe me $100. It does not look like you could catch me with that bum knee." They both laughed, covering up their deep pain. But they both knew this was no laughing matter. His uniform shirt was covered in blood. The entry wound was looking life-threatening. "Don't panic, man. It's just a flesh wound. You will be okay. Backup is on the way." The tall cop quickly looked up from cover with his good leg, then ducked back down. He shot a few blind rounds in the robber's direction, hopping onto the trunk of the car and reloaded his gun. He shot a few more shots, then grabbed his shoulder-strapped walkie-talkie. "Officer down. Officer down. Robbery on 159th and 7th Avenue. We have 3 suspects heavily armed with assault rifles driving white van, company van. Plumber's pump engraved on the side. License plate A34B4C. Officer down. I repeat, officer down on 159th and 7th Avenue. We have a bank robbery. Calling all cars. Officer down. Officer down." President Obama leaned against the crates holding the van door. President Clinton kept his passenger door open, shooting at the two cops until his clip was finally empty. President Lincoln ducked across to the driver's side and punched it. The torque from the van's takeoff made the crates shift. The doors popped and swung open. President Obama held on with all his might, but the crate was too heavy. The crate flew out of the van, moving fast, and smashed into the first cop car that bent the corner. Boom cracked. The incoming patrol cars turned the corner, crashing into the first car, causing a pileup of cop cars blocking the road. Skirt crash. Smash. The impact destroyed the crate. Money, gold, and diamonds scattered the sky and flew all over the street. President Obama grabbed the door handles and shut the back door before the other crate could roll out. They lost half of the score, but they were gone with seconds to spare. And no one was injured. Well, at least not them. "We did it," President Clinton said in excitement. "Fucking right, we fucking did it." President Obama confirmed equality, excited. "We are not in the clear yet. Let's get rid of this van," President Lincoln said calmly. "Shit, more cops. Hurry and make this left," President Obama noticed. President Lincoln turns just in time into a dead-end alleyway. The patrol cars sped right past them. They didn't even notice them or even look their way. "These cops in this town are clueless," President Clinton whispered, watching more patrol cars zoom past. "Yeah, just like I said, this job was a kid's treat," President Lincoln replied. "Man, why do you always say that?" asked President Obama. "What? It's a kid's treat. Kids' treats. Taking candy from a baby? Get it? Whatever, man. You need to buy a new slogan with this money. All this fucking money. We did it. Separis boy, we fucking did it." President Clinton replies, revealing his true identity as Joe while looking to the back of the van. Joe was so excited he took off his mask a bit early. Terrence was focused. He kept his President Lincoln mask on while driving to their safe place at safe speed. He did not want the traffic lights to record his face. Separis was busy hyperventilating through his small mask holes, looking out the back window, clenching his gun tight with his back against this heavy transportation crate. "Should all that money we just lost, I might be sitting on an empty crate or even worse, bank slips," worried Separis. "Relax, man. We are clear. Easy money, baby. Open it and see what we got." Separis sat down his weapon, took off his Obama mask, grabbed the crowbar and busted the lock off of the remaining crate. Just as Separis expected, the wrong crate escaped. There was no cash. The best part of the score was scattered all over the crime scene in front of the bank. But there was a bag of diamonds on top and gold bricks inside the bottom layer. No wonder it weighed so much. The gold bricks were covering the entire bottom of the crate. Terrence did not worry. He knew that the diamonds and gold bars were worth way more than the lost cash and bonds. They just need their connection to fence them on the black market. Ceparis hated that part of the business. He did not negotiate well. As far as he was concerned, the unmarked bills would have been better for him. They drove into an alley behind a grocery store about 5 blocks away from the bank. The 2 getaway vehicles were still there. While unloading the goods out of the transportation crate, they heard the patrol sirens surrounding the area. They did not worry. They knew they were already off of the radar. They wasted no time unloading the bank box. Terrence and Joe jumped into the truck with the gold and diamonds. Ceparis, get rid of the van and meet us at the next location. Joe yelled out of the car as Terrence drove off. Got it. Ceparis yelled back as they sped off. Watching them drive off, he hurries to the other getaway car. Grabbing the 5-gallon gas can, he soaks the van's interior with gasoline. Standing back, he smokes a Camel menthol, taking a few drags, then lights a rag on fire, throwing it into the van. Waiting patiently, he continuing to smoke his cigarette, making sure everything blew up before he rode off. He got on the nearby interstate and headed south back to Terrence's house to separate the score. Chapter 3. Plan B. Rosita is home alone waiting on Ceparis to return from his plumbing job. She goes to the bathroom to take a pee. Before she sits down, she goes into the bottom cabinet, moves around a few items and grabs the pregnancy test she hid the night before. Talking to herself in the mirror while taking the pregnancy test out of the box. "God, okay, look, we are going to take this test again. You better pass it this time." "Oh, I will. Last night was a fluke. It was probably too horny and had a misread. It better, because I don't need no babies fucking up my body. But babies are cute. We would have a beautiful family. What would Ceparis think if I was pregnant? Girl, I'm pregnant now, pass this test." She takes the last unused strip out and pees on it, waiting in the mirror, not saying a word, just staring at herself as if she was her own support system. Her own best friend. Both waiting on the results. 5 minutes later, she picks up the plastic applicator and sure enough, she was indeed pregnant. Fuck. Blizz blizz. Blizz blizz. Blizz blizz. Ceparis is driving on the interstate heading towards Terrence's place when his phone begins to vibrating in his pocket. He pulls it out and reads the screen. Call from wifey. "Hey sugar, what's up?" "Hey baby, how is work? Are you coming home soon?" "Yes baby. I'm just wrapping up this last job. I will be home shortly." "Okay. I was just worried about you. Don't forget my Chinese food." "Yeah baby, I know. You want chicken fried rice with shrimp and crabs." "Chicken fried rice with shrimp, 2 egg rolls, and crab rangoon. And don't forget the fortune cookies, they never want to give us them anymore." "I will remember baby. I will be home shortly. Give me about another hour to finish here." "Another hour? The longer I am on the phone, the longer it will take to get done. Let me finish up and get home to you." "With my food?" "Yes baby, with your Chinese food." "All of you babe, you the best." "Love you too honey." Ceparis hung up before Rosita could linger on the call. He wanted to talk with her, but his nerves were still jumping in his chest. He was not out of the clear just yet. He had to make sure he stayed focused to get his share of the heist. Ceparis ditched the getaway car on the outskirts of town after thoroughly wiping it down. He caught the city bus the rest of the way to Terrence's house. When he arrived, Joe was already celebrating, drinking whiskey and hitting lines off the glass table. Terrence was in his upstairs office on his throwaway phone talking to the boss who gave them this job. "No sir, we could not help it. The second crate got away. And I do not think any of them died." He then put him on speakerphone and stood at the top of the stairs so the rest of the guys could hear. The speakerphone echoed through the house. "You and your crew caused too much heat. I told you do not shoot the cops. I told you to make sure no one died. I told you to get both crates. You did not. Now the bank is all over the news. And one of the cops are dead. I thought you were professional. All you did was make a fucking mess. We will come in the morning to make the exchange." "In the morning? We want to get paid now." "Now? Now you are all over the fucking news. You killed the wrong guy, man. Now you and your crazy clique have to audio until further notice. I told you to keep a low profile. We did keep a low profile. We wore presidential masks and we are all here talking to you now. No casualties on our end, so that means we got away good. We are ready for phase 2, but you are acting like you are scared to handle your end of the deal." "Phase 2, are you sure, Mr. Parker?" "As I said, I will have my associates come to your residence in the morning and we will settle this matter. Until then, you fellows stay off the news. Goodbye." The line goes dead. What the fuck does that mean? Joe questioned. I don't fucking know. Terrence Parker was puzzled. He says we won't get paid until tomorrow because of the news coverage. One of the cops are dead on the scene. Bullshit. Fuck the news. And fuck them pigs. The longer we have the goods, the hotter we get. This is bullshit. We want to get paid cash money and get missing. Job done, now cut the check. Cyprius commented. Yeah, what the fuck? Who cares if some faggot-ass cops catch a couple bullets? Joe yelled. Where is our fucking money, T? I do not understand it either. Terrence replied while rubbing on his clean-shaven chin. Listen, we have a change of plans. I do not trust our new business partner, Mr. Yogi, anymore. He was a bit touchy about our approach. I believe we probably hurt one of his sources. They are probably mad, trying to retaliate, or worse, trying rat us out. I refuse to get ratted out after making a clean getaway. Terrence turns to Joe to make sure he has his full attention. Joe looks up, still drinking his whiskey out the bottle, still hitting his lines off the table. Joe, clean your face. I need you to stay focused. This shit is not over yet. Take the truck holding the gold and hide it. If you do not hear back from me in 24 hours, take the gold bricks to Bruce. Tell him I need the Plan B package. He will know what to do. Have him get us 3 passports and new IDs. If a cop was murdered, we will need to disappear for a while by getting out of the US until the heat is gone to figure out what's next. Gotcha. Joe said, finishing last bit of coke and downing his drink in one long gulp. Cyprius, take these diamonds and hide them. As I see it, we do not have a diamond supplier anymore. I no longer trust Mr. Yogi. Once I find someone to cash them in, we will handle that. Until then, everyone stay low. Nobody knows the two of you work for me. Which is good. Do not contact me until I contact you first. They should be coming soon, and I need to be totally clean. As long as I am clean with an alibi for today, I should be out in 48 hours. Good luck, guys. Cyprius walked out of Terrence's residence confused. They just robbed a bank and probably killed a few cops. For what? A bag of glass? How much could these diamonds be worth? He had no idea. He just wanted his money. He barely had cab fare to get home. He was pissed walking to the bus stop for the second time today. How do you commit a bank robbery and catch the bus? He was furious. Fuck. I forgot this woman's Chinese food. He got off the bus a few stops short of his home. Walking back a few blocks to the Woani Chinese bar and grill, Cyprius checks his pockets at the front counter. He had only $8 left after his second bus ticket. $8 after a bank job. This was bullshit. He only had enough to buy the chicken fried rice with shrimp. Luckily, the fortune cookies were sitting in a bowl next to the register. He grabbed 2 handfuls of them and walked out. Just his luck, it started to rain. He tucked her food under his shirt and ran 3 blocks back to his house. Honey, I'm home. She was in the shower. He set the food on the counter and hid the diamonds in his empty, invisible wall safe. When he first moved in a week before inviting his lady to see the new house, he built the hidden safe in his hallway behind the bathroom. She never knew about his wall safe. He never planned on telling her either. He went into the bedroom, got completely nude, and crashed. He was exhausted. This bank job had his nerves bad. She walked out of the shower completely nude, also with water still dripping off her freshly clean skin. She always drip-dried when she took long bubble baths. Hey baby, I didn't even know you were home. Yeah, I just walked in. Did you get my food? Yeah baby, it's in the kitchen. Aw, you're a sweetheart. She comes back with a different attitude. Where is the rest of it? Huh? Where is my egg rolls and crab rangoon? Girl, be glad you have that. I brought you some extra fortune cookies. What did you say? See, this is what I am talking about. You can never do anything right. I give you an order and you fuck it up. She began to cry. Baby, why are you tripping about a bag of fucking cat meat? Fuck you, Cyprius, you do not care about my feeling. Why are you so defensive? What is really wrong with you? What is wrong with me? I am fucking pregnant from a guy who can't even bring me the food I have been asking for all day. Wait, you're pregnant? When? How? What the fuck do you mean how? You fucking came in me, that's how. How many months are you? I don't know, I took the test last night and another one this morning. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I tried to this morning, but you were too busy with your new job. I am sorry, baby. I didn't realize. I saw your butt was getting fatter. Thought it was from all this good loving, but pregnant. I had no idea. Wow. We are going to have a baby. Yeah. Come here, sugar bunny, give me some love. We are having a baby. I'm going to be a dad. That night they made passionate love to each. Cyprius didn't fuck her as hard as he normally did. Instead, he was gentle. They still made love all over the new house, eventually climaxing on the new couch. They snuggled together, sporked tightly on the couch in the living room, both falling asleep as the TV watched them. They were at peace. Cyprius woke up hours late but did not move. He did not think about his long work day, he never did when he was with her. But tonight he could not help but to think about his share of the money and how he would take care of his new family. The trip to the Caribbean islands might be a permanent stay. He was excited about that, not really for him but more so for her and their unborn child. He has been promising her this trip for some.
She was always his joy and she was now carrying his seed.
He could not be any more happier than he was right now. It was short-lived. Clack, boom.
FBI, open up!
FBI. The hinges flew off the front door. Cyprius and Rosita were woken up 5 a.m. by the local police and FBI in full riot gear, protective helmets and shields. FBI. Get on the ground. Try anything and I will blow your head off. Armed cops quickly busting down the front door. Cyprius and his woman Rosita were still sleeping on the couch, fully nude with no covers and nowhere to run. The feds were in their home and on top of them before they could open their eyes good. The first officer to breach the home entered with a fully loaded AA-12 shotgun with a blinding LED flashlight. The buckshots from the gun could spread to any object in the light's projection.
If the light can touch you, the buckshot can spray you with lethal force.
His muzzle was pressed against Cyprius' head. Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Cyprius had no time to react. He was butt naked, hogtied and handcuffed in his living room in less than 30 seconds.
The mother of his unborn child was escorted by a masked officer and forced into the nearby kitchen. She was still undresses, watching her unborn child's father being apprehended.
She was hysterically crying and screaming for understanding.
She could not understand how Cyprius could have the FBI bust down the door.
Cyprius was a good man who worked hard for his money, not a wanted criminal. This must be a mistake. No. Stop.
Cyprius.
No. Officer, stop. What did he do? What did he do? No, don't take him to jail. Why are you arresting him? He didn't do anything.
Sorry ma'am, but your boyfriend here is no saint.
He is wanted for multiple crimes across the nation. The masked cop said firmly. Another masked officer handing her the nightgown out of the bedroom after fully searching it.
Miss, please stand back.
We have a warrant for the arrest of Cyprius Louis.
If you keep on interfering, we will have you arrested for obstruction of justice and harboring a fugitive.
Now can you please bring your man some clothes so we can take him to jail? What? Why? What are you doing here? She said while getting him a pair of pants and a shirt. The cops were in all of the rooms ransacking and searching the entire home.
They would not say what they were there for.
They just came in with warrants and within 10 minutes they left with Cyprius half dressed in handcuffs.
Rosita was home alone again.
Confused. Standing in her nightgown with her front door broken at the lock. She was an emotional wreck.
She could not stop herself from crying uncontrollably.
What the hell just happened? She wondered.
Chapter 4. 5 years later.
Open cell block B95. Mr. Louis, your day has come. I have been waiting on this day for 1800 nights. You damn right my day has come. I am out of this shit. State your name and DC number for your release.
Louis, Cyprius 124,056 black male, senior.
Okay Mr. Louis, you are all set.
Grab your stuff and let me walk you to the gates. Your paperwork has already been processed.
In about 20 minutes you will be a free man. For however long you can stay that way. Should we keep your bed warm for you? You know you will be back. This is the revolving door of your life. Fuck you, I am never coming back to this shit. I have big plans. What big plans? You must be trying to graduate to our federal penitentiary. Yeah, whatever you say senior, just do your job and release me. Cyprius Louis is released from prison a free and happy man. He had $100 and a bus ticket. His bus ride was crowded with all types of people. Cyprius has not seen that many people in years.
The women were all beautiful to him. Even the ugly women were beautiful. He had found a new appreciation for the human female species.
They were all beautiful in everything they did.
It was amazing to him.
He could not help but to stare at the young lady in the seat in front of him. She was wearing an all-white halter top showing her slim stomach and perfect belly button curving down to thick thighs squeezing through her white leggings with white sandals and red toenail polish waving back and forth. Back, forth and forth. He was hypnotized. She was sitting directly across from him texting in her phone. She never once looked up. Never once acknowledged him staring at her. She smelled so good to him, he inhaled deeply and smiled. He was happy to have his freedom back. Women, 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 women. He was reckless, eyeballing every female that he saw. One woman looked him over and shook her head when she saw his very hard boner. She quickly turned away and never looked back. He did not know if they all had noticed his excitement. They probably did. He didn't care. He could not help himself. He was finally back in the free world. That alone can have a grown man excited. He knew he needed some pussy, but first he had to check on home plate. If all was well, he would find everything he was looking for right at his own house. He was excited to be heading home to his family and his bag of diamonds. It bothered him that he has not spoken to his girlfriend or his co-workers in 5 years. Did the feds get them? Were they doing time also? He didn't know. He wondered if Rosita was still at the new house. Did she wait for him? So many thoughts were running through his free mind. The trees were even amazing to him. The world was so green and blue and bright and full of life. This was freedom. He was enjoying every millisecond that passed by. When he arrived to the street of his house, he stopped in his tracks. He saw a cop car in the yard of his home. Taking caution, he paused and sat around the corner watching his house. A lady and a male uniformed officer talked in front of his driveway. The couple was enjoying each other's company. They were probably lovers or close family members. Cyprius did not really care. He wondered, who were these people at his house? Are these detectives there to pick him up again? Cyprius panicked and quickly walked the other way. While walking around the neighborhood contemplating on going back to his house, he was curious to know why they were there. What the fuck, he gasped. Turning on the next street, he jumped into the backyard and watched his house from the side of the bushes. While staring at his house, he had a flashback of him and his girl Rosita. He could remember her smile when she looked at him. He remembered their happiest moments. Honey, I cannot believe it. You bought us a house. Believe it, baby. Daddy bought his sugar bunny a huge doll house. We can have a few mini-me's running around. His memory quickly flashed out. Cyprius spent too much time daydreaming in the pen. Dream time was over. He was finally awake and stalking his old house. I looked different. New paint and flowers planted. It was his house all right, but it looked more homely and cozy. He hoped the inside was not changed as much as the outside was. He hoped that wall was still up, still holding his stash inside. He was concerned about why the police were in his front lawn. Who was that lady standing next to the cop in a pink robe? Probably his wife. He could tell he was a cop from the shoulder holster and badge on his belt. Plus he stood like a cop. He was probably interrogating the woman. No, they were being too friendly. They were defending a couple. He did not recognize her. She looked like a middle-class housewife. She was most definitely not a cop. He did not want to risk anything crazy, so he walks down the street to the local library. Doing a check on his property, he finds out that he lost his house 3 years ago. It was sold in a foreclosure auction to a Detective Marcus Whitehead a year later. Detective Marcus Whitehead was recently married, and the house was his newlywed's wedding gift. Meaning the cop and the lady he saw has probably been living in his home for the last few years or so. Cyprius wondered if his diamonds were still in the house. It has to be. It better be. It was never recovered in the bust, so it must be there. He depended on these diamonds to jumpstart his new life. He planned on going inside the house that night. Cop or no cop, he wanted his diamonds. He dreamed about the diamonds every night inside the 6x9 cell. He knew from other inmates that his bag of glass was worth $25 million. Nothing was going to stop him from getting his big payback. He also did a check on his girl Rosita. There was no record of her anywhere. Only a Rosita jewelry shop. He knew that wasn't her. She had no record anywhere, probably a good thing. At least he knew that she stayed out of trouble. But where was she? He wondered what had happened to her. Why didn't she write him? Did she up and leave him like most women do, incarcerated men? Did she ever have his child? He was thinking about checking her mother's house to see if she was there. Hopefully he could get some answers. He knew her mother was never fond of him. That mean old lady stood about as tall as your average middle school student, but had a temper and attitude bigger than an angry David Banner. Her face would literally turn green when she looked at Cyprius. It was no secret she hated him. You could see it from the squinting of her beady little evil eyes. Lil Mama always told Rosita that Cyprius was a no-good bastard and she could do better. Lil Mama never trusted him. She has seen his kind before. Her first husband reminded her of him, a crook, a lying, stealing crook. He was never going to get a real respectable job. No, he would rather steal and lie. Those were once her exact words. She never caught Cyprius stealing, but she knew his kind. She was even madder at the fact that this fool she instinctively hated so much had stolen her precious baby daughter's heart. She hated him just as much as she hated her ex-husband. Cyprius was no fool, he knew better than to be popping up at Lil Mama house after dark. She might shoot him just because he was him. Plus it was over 5 years since she saw him. It might bring an uncomfortable surprise. It was almost nighttime, he only had an hour or so before it was completely dark outside. He decided to wait on the diamonds and head over there. Oh well, it was dusk when he arrived. No turning around now. He wanted to know what has been going on in his absence. It was still early afternoon but the sun was down. He approached the old lady's house with severe cat-eyeing. He did not want to catch a bullet from this grumpy old lady's shotgun. Damn gun was bigger than her but she knew how to accurately bust a cap in a nigga's ass if she needed to. Hello, may I help you? Yes ma'am, I am looking for Rosita. She is not here. May I ask who is stopping by? Hello, Lil Mama, it's me Cyprius. I was hoping that I could find Rosita here. Could you tell her I stopped by? Cyprius? Boy, I thought you were dead. At least that's what my daughter told me. Humph. She looked him up and down in disgust, then continued to talk. Well, she is not here, and she don't stay here either. I would appreciate if you do not come back around her anymore, okay? Sorry for intruding on you like that, Lil Mama. I was just in the area and wanted to see if I could catch up with her. Boy, what do you want? Do not come around my house to bother that girl. She moved out over a year ago. My baby is married now. She has a good paying job. She does not need the devil coming back in her life trying to destroy her happiness. Could you tell her I stopped by? This is the number she can reach me. Yeah, okay boy, bye. She slammed the door and ripped up the paper with his number, throwing it in the nearby trash can. He has a lot of nerves coming here. Damn heathen.
Chapter 5. On the Lookout.
That night around 9 p.m. Detective Whitehead went to work. Cyprius watched from afar as the cop drove off. He wasted no time entering through the back glass door. He figured that the cop's wife was in the house but he did not care. If she got in his way he would have to do what he had to do. He walks in the back sliding glass door, slowly closing it behind him. The shower was running and you could hear the woman talking to a man on speakerphone. 12 hours later Detective Whitehead comes home from a hard day's work of chasing bad guys to find his girlfriend gone, and his house trashed. He calls his female partner Detective Nola Brown from the car. She is gone. Where did she go? I don't know. But the house is a mess. She never does that. I am worried. About what? She might have went to the store. She reassures him that nothing bad happened to her. He is still uneasy. Come inside and look. His gun was already out of his holster and tightly clicked in his hand. She armed herself and followed him back inside. They slowly searched the house again. She noticed a cigarette butt on the floor and a diamond glowing on the rug. Whitehead, does your wife smoke? No. Why? Found DNA. She grabs the half-smoked marijuana blunt and a Camel cigarette and placed it in her DNA bag. What is this? I don't know, but it looks like a diamond ring. I also found a positive pregnancy test on the bathroom sink. Was your girlfriend pregnant? Pregnancy test? She is pregnant. How? 2 lines means pregnant, I would assume so. That can't be. We haven't had sex in over a month. Maybe she was having an affair and she ran off into the sunset with her secret lover. Come on, stop bullshitting with me, this is serious. Okay, when is the last time you talked to your wife? I left for work about 9 p.m. last night. It's 10 a.m. now. So about 12 hours or so. Do you ever call or text her during the day to see if she is okay? No. I don't make personal calls while I'm in the field. One false move and I can be killed while texting. Cell phones are not murderers. It will not kill you to stay in contact with your wife. If you kept contact, maybe she would have never left you. Left me? She would never leave. She had to have been taken. Is everything okay at home with you too? Any arguments, anything? What? Why are you interrogating me like a suspect? I've been at work with you all day. Cops are always picking the easy victim. You are a cop too. Yes. And so are you. We are partners. You should know I did not do anything to my wife. And she did not leave me. Something bad happened here. Yeah, bad breakup. What? Nothing. Let's go over the evidence again. Cigarette butts, a half-smoked marijuana cigar, diamond ring, and a positive pregnancy test. Ransacked house with no forced entry. Where the hell is my woman? I don't know, but we can take this stuff to the lab and see what we can find. I have a guy that can get the results back in about an hour. Okay, great, let's do that. About an hour later at the lab they had the results. Oh, Detective Brown. My findings were from 3 people. The cigarette had on male on it. And the blunt had a male and a female's DNA on it. The female's DNA belonged to a Mrs. Cynthia Whitehead. The males were 2 separate traits. So we cross-checked them and came up with a hit on the cigarette. Unfortunately, the blunt's DNA was strongly of the female that we could not get a good read. But the cigarette was a solid hit. Paris Louis, this guy was recently released from our prison system less than 48 hours ago. So I ran a check on him, come to find out approximately 5 years ago this guy was arrested in his home. The same home that you now live in, Mr. Whitehead. Guess it was a welcome home party and you were not invited. Sorry. That wasn't funny. Sorry. Paris Louis was a high-profile bank robber. Now why he was back in your home I have no idea. Maybe he left something behind. I have no record of his whereabouts. But I am assuming he is still in town. Laura, Ms. Detective Brown. I hope that helped. I did all the research I could find. Thanks, Gary, you did a wonderful job in less than an hour. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Detective Brown. Now do you want me to file this report in our system or are you going to take it with you? Mississippi Brown will take that with her. Can you print that out for us? Thank you, sir. Yeah, Gary, we want to keep this quiet until we find out what really happened to Ms. Whitehead.